All right. Hey, coaches. Welcome to the podcast. We have Miss Yasmin again with us here today. And just as a reminder, she was the scholarship winner from the fall 2023 cohort. And she has graciously allowed me to interview her every month as she's been going through the Born to Coach Training Academy and sharing the behind the scenes of what her journey has been like to train as a professional coach at the PCC level, and she's working towards earning her ICF credentials and growing her coaching business. And yeah, so we're here for another interview. How's your day going so far, Yasmin?
It's great. I've been looking forward to this interview all day, actually. So I'm also preparing for my observation, which is after this call in the with my peer coach student. So yeah, just a day of dedicating myself to the program.
That's right. You and I get to spend 2 hours together this evening because yeah, right after this, I'm observing
Mhm.
you coaching your peer coach. So yeah, this is a good evening for me that we get to spend so much time together.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
super excited. The excitement is just like building and building.
Well, to be honest, I looked at my schedule for this evening. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we have another interview so soon to the last one. Because I
Mhm.
literally feel like we just talked like 2 weeks ago, but it's been like more than a month. And it's
Yeah.
crazy how fast it goes when you're training to become a coach and running a successful coaching business.
I totally agree with that. Like it does feel like 2 weeks ago when I was thinking about what we're going to talk about today, I was just like, oh my goodness, like what? Like I only just talked about the things, 2 weeks ago, which is what it feels like. But yeah, it has been a while.
I know, I know. And yeah, just wanted to do like a real quick check-in before we go into our questions. I know we were on Zoom here for a minute before we started recording. Like we just had this lunar eclipse last night, and then we have this solar eclipse coming up. So we're in this like crazy eclipse season. I know you and I are both like very sensitive to the moon and the collective energy. I'm just curious, like, how's that been like showing up for you and affecting you lately?
Feel like I'm a bit tired, like there's like some weight that needs to be shifted. Like that's how I'm feeling. Um, yeah, pretty much that's what's coming up for me is like there's things that need to shift within myself and it's being reflected in the cosmos. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you've been doing some really deep inner work and healing over the past couple months, and I've like
Yeah.
been watching from the sidelines and there's been so many times where it's like I just wish we were in person so I could like give you a hug and just like
Yeah.
hold you and let you cry at my shoulder. And I know it's been hard, but I know it's like you're going through like your metamorphosis right now. So you can, emerge into this beautiful butterfly or whatever this
Yeah.
thing you're transforming into right now. It's all happening.
It's definitely happening. I'm definitely feeling it. And it feels just like how you mentioned in the beginning of the program that things will come up and growth will happen and it'll happen in like unexpected ways. And that's exactly what is happening. But yeah, definitely this healing journey is it's quite something while I'm coaching, while I'm building the foundations of my empire. And yeah, I definitely am feeling it, but it's about like it's okay to feel it and do what needs to be done to move myself forward as well. But the inner work is just as important as the what I'm experiencing in this program.
Yeah. Yep, there's room for all of it. And I would be lying if I said that no one goes through what you're going through in the program. I don't know if I said that correctly, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that Like I see every student when they fully commit to this work and becoming a life coach and going through this training, like you said, like your stuff is gonna come up. And it's a good thing that it's coming up because it's getting you to that higher level of being, that other side of enlightenment. And then you can just like serve so much deeper, give back to your clients, relate to your clients. It's like an initiation, basically, is what's happening.
I definitely resonate with that. The transforming into the more of the higher self and like serving deeper. So definitely, that whereas before, if I had something similar to this experience of like going through it, um, I wouldn't be so aware that it's like impacting me in a positive way. It just felt like, healing. But this time around, it's like, okay, I know why it's happening.
That makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? When you know the why behind it, and it's like you can tolerate it more and um, allow yourself to get through it because you know it's like happening for your greater good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so we're celebrating that you're allowing yourself to heal in the program while you're still taking action and you're still, making progress on your goals and moving towards your ultimate vision here. But what's another win that we can celebrate together today?
I would love to celebrate the level of commitment that I have to this program and a continuous, like, open mind and heart to what's possible from completing the program. Like, I'm soon to be graduating, right? So, like, I'm celebrating what's possible next.
And yeah, what is possible next for you?
That's a question. That's quite a question. Um, I I wrote on my vision board that I want to be a support coach and for programs. So, let's see where that new possibility takes me and um just continuing to help others evolve in this world and elevate the frequency of this planet into just harmony. Um, that's what's possible.
Yeah, yeah. And so when you say be a support coach, are you talking about for the Born to Coach Training Academy or for a different like coach? Or
It is on there. It's on my vision board. For Born to Coach Training Academy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wrote it on my vision board about 2 days ago, and I was just like, yeah, I'm right. Why not? Why not write it on there and stick it there?
that's amazing. I mean, that's what Valerie did too before
Mm,
she got the support coach position. Is she at the retreat we took a picture together. She's the manifesting queen like yourself, and she put what did she do? Oh, or no, she took originally we had another support coach chosen for our first support coach, and that didn't end up working out. And so she took the announcement and she cropped her picture
mhm.
onto the announcement that she was joining the Born to Coach Training Academy team. And she like looked at it every day and was like, thank you, universe, for letting me work for Krista and the Born to Coach Training
Yeah.
Academy. And she just like kept doing that like for months. And then all of a sudden, I was just like, I feel like I need to reach out to Valerie and invite her to be our first support coach. And it was just amazing how powerful that manifestation work was happening in the background. And I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah. And for me, I didn't even like realize until my heart kind of like spoke it into me, like just write it down, just write it and put it there and embrace what's possible.
Good. Good. Yeah. I'm glad you're listening to that. And yeah, we'll continue to let that manifest and unfold the way it needs to. And I'll just quickly let our audience know too about with the support coach thing. This is something that I just started last fall where I was recognizing that the students in the Born to Coach Training Academy needed more like one-on-one coaching support. And I find that a lot of the students have never worked with a life coach before. And so I found that the coaches who end up doing the best are the ones that have experience working with their own personal life coach, so they can walk the walk. And so a lot of times people will be like, well, should I work with a coach first, or should I go through coach training first, or which one should I do first? And my philosophy is like, why not do both in our program? Why not train to become a coach and work with a life coach at the same time? And so I've decided that pretty much I only want to hire people to work in the company that have graduated and have gone through the program. And so Valerie was part of our first class, and yeah, so now she's our first support coach, and she provides one-on-one coaching sessions with the students. I know you've been working closely with Valerie as well every month. How's that experience been for you, Yasmin?
It's absolutely amazing to be able to connect and have a coach that has done the program and just understands the journey and the process. And it has been like a refreshing, very deep experience because I share with her the things that I'm growing through and all of that. And it just is just like a good space to be able to gain clarity in moving forward
Yeah.
and also in like what I'm currently going through as well. So it's been such a help to have that support. And so I think that is what is attracting me to become a support coach as well, is that like I have absolutely embraced and loved this program so much that I want to like stay with it, stay in the energy of it too, and help people that way.
Yeah. Oh, and you would just be such a good support coach because of like, yeah, how much you have been healing and supporting yourself through this process. And then, yeah, to be able to give that back to our future students, that would be just so beautiful and wonderful. So yeah, I'm so honored that you're putting this position on your vision board, and yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. And I'm just so glad to hear too that it's been such a great experience working with Valerie up to this point. And yeah, like we talked about, like when you become a life coach, so much stuff, so much of your own stuff is going to come up. And so it's so
Right.
nice, right, to have that safe space where you can go and process and work through it. And then you're not going to like bring that into your client sessions because you have the sacred space to like work through that stuff yourself.
Absolutely. And I so appreciate saying those things. And yeah, that sacred space is important for us. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All the coaches, what's the saying? Like, even the coaches need a coach.
Yeah. Like
Like,
healers need healers.
yeah, therapists need therapists. I mean, yeah, it'll be the truth to the end of time. Okay, so next question for Yasmin is, what are some key lessons that you're taking away this month as you continue building your coaching business?
Wow. There is a striking balance between planning and action taking. That's a key takeaway um, from this month. And I'm a big planner, so like I plan and I build the foundation of my empire, and it's time to like reach for the actions now, like actually take the actions that I've been planning. And there's a balance with it. You gotta balance for me, it's consistent planning with the action taking. So applying all that learning and becoming like excited about it, um, about taking those actions. So that's like a big takeaway that I have this month.
Yeah. Yeah. So did you find that you were, because I agree with both of you, you have to have both, like, yeah, the strategizing, the planning, and the action taking. Did you find that you said to find the balance of it, which side did you feel like you were leaning more towards?
Previously, it's all the planning. Like I love planning. I love organizing. So um I would like to lean even more so into the action taking of that planning.
Yeah, and what's some of the actions that you are planning on taking?
Those actions are they involve like putting myself out there, connecting with people. And I'm in this decision right now of in-person connections and social media connections, or utilizing social media to connect with others, and just overcoming that, that little bit of challenge that I feel to connect with people. So some of these actions are that I to go into the community, my local community, or into the spiritual communities that I can attract or find, and also not be attached to the way it happens, like what I say in a message, for instance, because how am I going to know how to refine my actions and improve them if I don't initially take the action in the first place? So yeah, those are a few. The main action is to make connections
Yeah.
and tell people what I do.
Yeah, that's a really good place to start. It's amazing how just, yeah, connecting more with people every day, having conversations, telling people you're a coach, like that can take you so far. One of my favorite quotes is like, a simple hello can go a million different directions. And that's what I like to think of it as, is you just never know with whoever you meet, they could become your next client or they could know someone who becomes your next client. And so that's really a good mindset to have. And I'm curious, do you lean more towards doing like the in-person connections or the online connections?
I lean towards the online connections, but my heart is telling me to go in person.
Oh,
Yeah, which is very different for me because before, during the pandemic and everything, I did have this sort of like I've gotten used to not being in person. So it's nice to feel like I want to go back into that in-person vibe.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. You'll have to keep me updated with that. Because I'm the same as you, is I feel more comfortable with connecting with people online. And when I think about like doing stuff in person, like I feel like oh my God, what's the feeling? It almost feels like my body like kind of like retracts a little bit. And
Yeah.
I don't know, in-person stuff is just like it's so funny because like I feel like most coaches will say that it's harder and scarier to do stuff online. And I feel the exact opposite. Like the online feels like comfy and like
Yeah.
home for me. And but I agree with you too that there's still like something inside me says that, but like how powerful could it be to like be with people in person and be in their energy and meet people in that type of way. And you just, yeah, you don't know, you never know what's possible.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm getting that like download or that message for a reason, I should follow it, and it's something I feel more confident of during the course of this program to, number one, admit that this is what I should be doing or want to do, and number two, just to go out there and get that little bit of like nudge. I'm able to nudge myself a bit more than I used to.
Mm. Yeah, I it makes me really happy to hear that like you're listening to your heart and your intuition to make business decisions. And this actually goes into one of our questions. And I know
Mhm.
we changed it a little bit, but originally it said, how do your cultural preferences influence your creativity or decision making in your business? But we decided to change it more to like, how do your spiritual preferences influence your creativity or decision making in your business? So yeah, do you want to talk a little bit more about how you do
Yeah,
that?
I'd love to. Like, I love spirituality, as you know. Um, but yeah, my creativity is impacted because I see my clients as soul light beings on their journey, and like recognizing the paths that they have in showing up in the world. Like they're so unique. Everybody's life journey is so unique, and I feel like um I'm creative within my sessions with my clients, as to like how to guide them in their own inner work, and to help them cultivate that message that they want to give to the world. And yeah, my practices, they help me like trust my intuition even more every day, and not being attached to how my clients apply the coaching that I serve, and then also trusting them in their journeys, and trusting myself to coach them in it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really powerful. I like what you said, that you look at your clients as light beings.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah.
Instead of like, we're not just humans in a body. Like there's so much more to us than that. And just recognizing that when they're speaking is like, in a way, we're communicating with our higher selves. That's how I perceive them in their journeys, regardless of what comes up in the sessions, even if it's like something heavy. But it's also about like wanting to be recognized too, I guess, for uh being on this journey to our higher selves, to our future selves. You know, who do we want to be um to serve this world?
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you're creating like content or offerings for your business, or you're just making everyday decisions for your business, how do you use your intuition and spirituality to impact that?
Yeah, that's something that I'm working on, is the creating the content part. For me, it's so important to just show myself authentically and just say it how it is. And of course, from like peace, love, and harmony frequency, um, I believe that being our authentic selves is what the world needs. So I'd like to remind people to be brave, to just speak their mind, even regardless of how it comes out. As long as it comes from love, then you're protected by, yourself, or whatever beliefs and practices that you adhere to. Um, and I think the world just needs that bravery in just us expressing ourselves and communicating with each other, and just shining our light in a way that resonates with us. And that could be like through music. I've coached a client about he's more in tune with expressing himself musically, because he had coaching and he's just comfortable. He's more like open to sharing his artistic vibe, and that's his authenticity. And so I just would love for many people to be able to experience doing that, being that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was so well said, because our authenticity is like it's medicine for the world and for others, and to give ourselves permission to show up as authentic as possible in our messages and in our truth and in our business. But that can be really hard and scary to do. And I know, like with your background growing up, that wasn't always really embraced and encouraged as well, right? To share your truth and show up as your true authentic self. So what's been like really helping you to shift and overcome that from your past?
It really is about that self. love and filling my own cup first and recognizing what I needed pivoted me to being that authentic self. And it was coaching too. I did get mentoring and coaching, um, with being guided to just share my light however it shines. Express yourself if you need. It started with the basics. Like I needed rest, so I took rest. I needed to meditate, so I meditated, and there was no like putting it off, even though it felt so strange in the beginning to like sit and rest and sit and meditate and even acknowledge. I've shared in previous interviews that there's that challenge of overcoming fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and brain fog. And so even just acknowledging and asking, what does my body need? And what is the brain fog telling me, and what is the fatigue telling me? And that's something that I've learned from you as well. When you talk about what are these feelings teaching you? What are they trying to tell you? um so it's about that. As soon as I gave myself what I really truly needed, even if it was like a glass of water, I just started there. And that just paved the way for the authenticity that I just quickly learned as well. Not quickly, it did take time. Learned that when we don't shine our light, when we don't be our authentic selves, it actually can stop other people from their own growth as well. If we just, keep quiet and don't shed light on things, in another person, again, with peace and harmony. But if we don't share our authentic selves, it doesn't help other people evolve as well.
Mm. Oh, that was so well said. Yeah. If we don't show our authentic selves, it doesn't help people evolve. Yeah, that's powerful. And I like the example too that you gave of just even like asking your body what it needs when symptoms are showing up, and even something as small as like just getting yourself a glass of water can make such a big deal of just really learning to listen to your body, honor your needs. And that's what we're teaching our clients to do too, is right. We're telling them, show up to every coaching session, telling us what you need help with. And if we can't do that for ourselves, it's going to be
Right.
really hard to help guide our clients to be able to do that. So again, this work, it always starts with us. And it seems like you're really embodying and practicing that.
Yeah, I mean, it becomes a mission. It's become my mission really to express myself authentically so that others are able to evolve as well and inspire people. Maybe they have the ability, but they're not inspired, but that inspiration is there. And I just love that part of me that is willing to show the authentic side, the authentic self.
Yes. And I love that part of you as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, last two questions is how do you feel going into your last month with the Born to Coach Training Academy?
Wow, it feels a little daunting um with the final assessments coming up, because I have that energy around like the assessment vibe and like passing and all of that stuff. So it feels a little bit daunting, but I'm also tapping into, not judging the rest of my time on the program. Um, and that non-attachment to like the destination, and being able to just like transform those like daunting feelings into um anticipation and excitement that I'm exactly where I need to be. So yeah, those are my feelings around, yeah, my last month going into it.
Yeah. So the daunting feelings that's coming up, is that around the final performance evaluation or is there something else?
Yeah, it is around the final performance evaluation, and also just like, it feels like right now I have training wheels on with the Born to Coach Training Academy, but after that, the training wheels are going to come off. So like we're just going to be like riding and just like riding into wherever we're going, you know, and riding into what's possible, let's say that. So yeah, right now it feels like those training wheels are still there. Um, but yeah, the daunting thing is about the assessment, the final performance evaluation. But I am embracing that as well because the discomfort is where we grow.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying because I just finished going through my level 3 program to work towards my MCC credentials. And it is a little scary, right? Because you start to get comfy and you feel really safe in your learning and your training environment with all your peers and your trainer. And
Yeah.
um, even though this is like the third time I've been through a coach training program, it's still like, oh my gosh, am I really ready to go out into the world? And did I learn everything I need to learn in the program? And a lot of big feelings and emotions can come up towards the end. So I'm just honoring whatever you're feeling and whatever is coming up for you right now in this moment.
And it makes me feel, more inspired as well that that you're sharing, you've been through like 3 programs or more, and those feelings still come up, but we just, keep going with them, like go with the feelings. So yeah, that is that's helpful to know. And that's why the program is great too, because you know exactly what we're processing and what we're journeying into.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so good to for me to be a student again these past 6 months. And I just had like so much more empathy for everything that you guys were going through. And like, I had this like one really bad day. I don't know if we talked about it here on the podcast, but I know I talked about it in class where we were getting observed coaching and I just like completely choked and I froze up and I had stage fright and I cried afterwards and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this must be how my students feel when sometimes the coaching doesn't always go the best when they're getting observed." And it was just such like a humbling experience. So yeah, I'm really glad that I got to be a student again after so many years and just understand that the learning process is really can be really hard and challenging. I always say when you're learning to be a coach, it's like learning it's like learning a foreign language.
Mhm.
And it's it can be exhausting at times and yeah, uncomfortable and lots of different things. But like you said earlier in your quote of like, that's where all the beauty and the growth comes from and all the changes and the transformation is being uncomfortable in that new learning role and challenging yourself and rewiring your brain and just all
Yeah.
the things. Yeah.
Well, thank you for, doing the programs. So, that's like elevating us too. When you're elevating, we're elevating.
Of course. I
Mm.
I always joke and say I would love being like a coaching student for the rest of my life because I
Oh,
love learning how to coach and continuing to up level my coaching and um so yeah, it's so fun and it's yeah, I don't think I'll ever stop learning when it comes
mhm.
to being a coach and entrepreneur. And I feel like you're going to be the same, Yasmin.
Yeah. No, I'm totally like my heart's like open right now when you're saying that.
Mm. Okay, so last question is we have the in-person retreat in Sedona, Arizona coming up. This is our first time that I'm hosting the retreat in Sedona, so I'm just as like excited as all of you to be on that be on the
Mhm.
retreat together. And I know that um for a moment there you weren't sure if you were going to be able to attend the retreat or not, but you were able to make it happen and you and I are like celebrating together. And so I want to
Yeah.
know what are you most looking forward to with the upcoming retreat?
Wow. I just feel like it's gonna be a put together of what I've been, how, how this journey has been for me. And I'm looking forward to like the in-person connections with my peers and finally seeing everyone in person and doing that in a new place, a place I've never been before. And, it's Sedona is known as like a spiritual place. Um, and just I'm so just excited to, embrace that inner joy and showing my authentic self. Like that's honestly one thing I'm looking forward to. It's like one thing to share your authentic self when you're like on an online space and on Zoom and whatever, but it's like a game changer as well when you're actually in person able, to be able to do that. So just grateful. I'm grateful for being able to um, be there and share my light and learning from other people as well and being in good vibes. And it's just like it'll be new vibes for life.
It really will. And yeah, you're gonna change and transform even more on the retreats. I always say that my retreats are like energy portals, and you go in one way and you come out like just looking at the world and thinking about things in a different way after the retreat. And yeah, I mean, I know that the connections are strong, right, with the other peers and with me. But when we get in person, like, yeah, the connections just get so much deeper. And then we can do so much deeper, like healing and personal growth and development work in the workshops. And it's just, it's such a beautiful experience. And then, yeah, you're right. The energy healing in Sedona alone, like I've been a couple times, and I remember when I was driving from Phoenix into Sedona, like I didn't even know someone else was driving and I was like looking down at the ground. And then I didn't even know we were like driving into Sedona. And all of a sudden, like my heart started like racing. And
Wow.
like I could just feel like energy was like surging in my body. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? This is so weird. Like this came out of nowhere. And then and my friend who was driving, I was like, are you feeling what I'm feeling right now? And she's like, oh, we just entered Sedona. Like we're driving through an energy vortex right now. And it was like so crazy that like my body felt it. And because you know how sometimes people will say, like, these are really healing and transformational places. And like the fact that I felt what I felt, I was like, oh, you wouldn't even have to, like, even if the place wasn't labeled as like an energy healing vortex, like my body alone was able to indicate to me and tell me that there is something very special about this place. So
Yeah.
yeah, get ready for the healing and the
I'm so ready
breakthroughs
for
and
this healing. Like I want to feel this like for real, feel it. And like I already feel like it's calling me. It's I know you mentioned earlier that, it might have been like a no for me to come, but everything became so easy and that the process of it. So getting my passport ready and having the funds for the flight and things like that, it just became easy and like staying somewhere as well. And it just when it's easy, it's like that the land is calling you. Like that's what I felt. So it's magical already.
yeah. I 100% agree with you. That's so great to hear that everything was just like falling in place to make this happen for you. And it's been so fun, like doing the enrollment process this past year and like telling when I get on discovery calls and everything and telling the potential students, like, yeah, we're gonna have a in-person retreat in Sedona that counts for 25 training hours for the program. And they're always like, oh, shut up. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? What like, and I'm like, what's happening right now? And they're like, I literally like put Sedona on my bucket list yesterday of like the place I want to see the most before I die. And now you're telling me it's included in the retreat. And so it's
Yeah.
just like, you're right. I feel like it's if it's calling to you, then you know that you have to be there because you know that there's like something really good for you. there in terms of whatever it is. Yeah, growth, healing, breakthroughs, transformation, all of the above. Yeah, yeah. Well, Miss Yasmin, we are at the end. Is there any last words or thoughts or inspiration that you want to share with our audience today before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to be in gratitude. I am in gratitude for the listeners like following along with my journey in this program, and I am just blown away by my own learnings and the way that I'm moving now in life is so different and it's transformative, and I just want to help inspire people to show their authentic selves in that vibe of living in a harmonious world and knowing that when we work on ourselves and our inner peace, our inner joy, that is going to cause a ripple effect on people around us. And, that's just what we need in this world too. And we do that by being expressive and being in our authenticity. And yeah, that's what's coming to me right now.
Thank you. Thank you for imparting that on our audience. And I am sure that they will just take that love, light, inspiration, inner peace with them after listening today. So thank you again, Yasmin, for being you, for showing up so beautifully in this program every week, and looking forward to interviewing next month. And yeah, as you get ready to go to the retreat and to get ready for your final performance evaluation, which will be the last
Yeah.
step in graduating from this program.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited and I'm ready, and yeah, thank you.
All right. I'll see you in your observation call in 10 minutes.
For sure. I'll be there.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.